The Quran says, every soul shall taste death. It's a matter of time before somebody close to you passes away. But the question is, are you going to be ready on that day? I can't think of another event which can have so much stress, so much confusion, so much overwhelm and grief like the death of a close relative. The best of us I've seen crumble under the pressure. At that time, things move very quickly, and it's extremely important to have all the information that you will need to alleviate not only the emotional strain on yourself, but on other people as well. And having the right information can not only benefit you, but other people. Recently, I was talking to somebody who's actually in the medical profession, somebody who is not averse to seeing death. Yet, when it came to the death of their own relative, they were actually saying to me that they were under so much strain that almost like the mind went blank. And at that time, and he was reaching out to me and asking me, which dua should I read? What should I be telling my family? This relative is saying this. Is it permissible? Is it not permissible? Should we do it? Should we not do it? And this is very typical. This type of event, these are the kind of questions that will come, and people are overwhelmed. They don't know whether we should listen to this person or that person. At that time, there is no time to learn these things. You have to know the stuff in advance. Many years ago, my father passed away, and alhamdulillah, at the time I had studied and I was able to help my family by giving them the right information and telling them what things were permissible and what things were cultural. And I remember my brother said to me afterwards that at that time he didn't know what to do, but when I gave him instructions, he had focus, he knew exactly how he could help my father. And then we got into this discussion, I remember in the condolences period, that not everyone has that ability, not everyone has the ability to reach out to someone with knowledge that can help them through that difficult period, and that this knowledge should be disseminated. And that set me off in teaching this material to many audiences over the years, in the hope that, inshallah, by giving them this information in advance, they can, inshallah, when that time happens, have the knowledge that can help them through that very difficult period, which is going to happen. And that is the reason why I've put this course, The Final Journey, together, which is, it starts right from the beginning of when somebody's ill, somebody's sick. What are the du'as that you're supposed to read? What are the things that you're supposed to do? If somebody is about to pass in front of you, then what happens straight after death? How do you then wash the body? How do you then shroud the body? How is the janazah prayer performed? How is the burial then done? What happens after the burial? What's going on with the person in terms of their soul? Where is their soul? What's happening to the soul? Can they hear? Can they not hear? What are they experiencing? And then going on to the whole area of condolences. What's the proper etiquettes when we go and give our condolences, our afsos? What are we supposed to do? How is the proper etiquettes? And then other areas, for example, legal matters, death certificate, all of these other things which, when a death happens, you're not going to know this stuff. You have to know it in advance. I'm also adding in a section which I've never taught before, which is about inheritance. And the reason for that is because many families have disputes over inheritance. And a lot of it's actually just misunderstanding and culture coming into this very clear, very clear area of Islamic law. I remember many years ago when I taught this in a physical class and had given notes out, a sister actually said to me later on, a death happened, and the first thing she did was to reach for her notes, and she said it just gave her structure to get through that difficult period. Please join me in the final journey as we prepare for this inevitable area of our life.